Hey folks, this is Rod with Win by Doing, coming to you with a GIMP video. If you came here looking for resale related videos, this may not be one that you want to stick through, but if you are looking to getting into merch by Amazon and you're looking for a free tool to use to do your your t-shirt designs, this image editor is free to use, and with a little bit of practice, a little bit of googling, you can it's a pretty impressive tool for no charge, only the time needed to become familiar with it. But if you are looking for the resale related videos, look for my through my playlist, or look at the headers with a yellow bar across the top. I try to separate the two with green for GIMP and yellow for resale. So today I thought I'd do a quick little how to on fonts, installing new fonts, and setting some of the parameters for your fonts, such as size and whatnot. So let's go ahead and get going here. Many of you know that if you go to your toolbox, I'm going to pop up a new toolbox here, and it's Windows New Toolbox. And let me resize that so that it's fitting so you guys can see it all. Here is the A here. This is when you want to write something. And when you get in here, it's going to put a little triangle there. You can resize that triangle. And first off, up here is the different type of font types. The only downfall to GIMP that I see is in this tool here. I wish they would give you the drop down as to what the fonts look like. But here you pretty much have to know the title of the font and type it in there, and it'll switch it up. Over here you can change the size, and if it's right now it's sitting at 18 the way this is defaulted, and I can type in this is a test, and if I jump that up to say 45, you'll see that it went right back down to the 18, because if I highlight it here I can boost it up, and it went ahead and boosted the size up to the 45. That can be kind of a pain when you're first starting out. So what you want to do is you can go to your tools options, and that's under Windows, dockable dialogues, and tool options. This is going to be more valuable to you when you're messing with your fonts, because you can set the parameters of your fonts here. So if I want to go ahead and set it to 50, and let's say I want to change the font, I can actually click on the little A there, and you can scroll down here and see the different types of fonts that are available. So I believe I have a script font in here somewhere. I just recently bought a new computer, so some of my fonts that I had on that I was using before, I didn't carry over. I'll just have to go back and download. Let's go to this skinny, and as you can see, because we were inside the text box, it went ahead and changed to the font that we had in there to that skinny font size 50. If I go back over here and I want to type another text in, this is my second test. And as you can see, it maintained that. Let me move that over a little bit. It maintained that same font and same size. If you notice here, it moved off the side of the page. That's where these, when you highlight within the text, it puts these little triangles, and that's what allows you to change location. I can make it taller and it'll auto wrap. You can also get to auto wrap here, and you can see there it maintained my carriage return when I hit the enter. So you've got a couple options there. Now if you notice, everything here is left justified. Some of the other options on that tool options, we have our justification here, And I've already got this text box selected. And let's go to centered. And as you can see, the text is now centered. And if I make that smaller, it's going to go ahead and do the auto wrap, and it's centering the text. We did not do anything down here. So if I want to come down here, it maintained what we had it set for before. I can come over here and hit centered as well, and it'll center the text in that box. Now, if you ever notice here, you're not seeing it. That's because I sized the box too small for that text. And there, we made it all visible again. Let's see over here. It looks like I've never really used the box, any of these here. I think mainly you're going to be using a justification. You can change change the color of the text, and it's only going to carry that through to what you're working on now. If you had it over here, I had this other text box that's still maintaining the same format that we had there, but if I go and create another one, let's say third test, it maintained what we had selected. If I come down here, click in here, and then I go up, looks like it's going to default. So you're only going to be changing the qualities of the text box you're working on. It's always going to default to black, and the last font you're using that you set up in your tools. But you can also come back in here, and let's say we want to, let me move that down so we can see the top dialog box. If I wanted to type in sand and go to 35, or let's go 30, and change that back to black, you can see that it changed it that way as well. But I guess if you do hit the A, if you hit a letter, it will show you everything that's set up in A. It's got the auto, but it's only going to show all the ones in A, where if you do it through the tool options, it's going to show you all of them you can scroll through. And how that's going to look over here in your layers, all this text is a text layer. So as we continue messing with text, just to go through some of the transformations you can do with your text, once you actually have them here, if you're on your text tool, you'll see that it transforms the tool, or it goes right into where you can edit the text like we were doing. But let's say I want to do use a perspective tool. You just click on the tool in the toolbox. I'm going to move that off to the side. Click on the one you want to transform, and just to give you an idea how that works, just drag. You're basically just dragging this out. I'm going to hit transform. And there you can see, and I want to undo that by hitting Control and Z. And let's say we want to change the size of it. You can select it over here, and you can go up to your layer, or you can just use the tool in the toolbox. Right here is the scale tool. Click on it. There's a little dialog that pops up, and up and down, left and right, you can change the scale of your image. Click the scale button, and as you can see, it made it smaller. You'll constantly be doing this where I'm going to hit cancel. Let's just move over to the select tool so there we messed with the size, we change scale, and if you notice over here on your layers, it turned it into an actual layer. If you go back into, let me first rephrase that. Here you can see where it's a layer. Layer is more of an image instead of the text box that we had before. So if you do decide you want to edit that text, it's going to pop up confirm text editing, and if I hit edit, you'll notice that it went back to the default, or back to what it was before we did the transformation with the scale and the resizing. And there's no way of getting that back. You would have to go back in and, you know, go through the steps that we did where we changed the perspective on it, if you did have to edit that text. And then you see it took it from a text to, anytime you change any of the attributes using the scale, resizing, and some others, that is that's just the nature of the beast. Let's say out of all the list of fonts that you do not, or that there's one that you do not see in your list, and you'll want to go out and download one. I'm going to switch over. I'm going to pull up a Google Explorer. Excuse me. Okay. And you can pretty much just type in free fonts, or somewhere I typically go to is the 1001 free fonts. And it basically just has list upon list of fonts, and you'll see some of these are free for personal use. Some of them, let me see if I can find one randomly. All these are, oh, here's one that says free. Public domain. But let's download this one right here, just to kind of show you how to download. You'll click the download when you do find these file images. I'm going to minimize this, and I just want to bring it up so you can see. Here it is, download. Make sure you remember the name of it, because when you go back into GIMP, you'll want to be able to find that. So I'm going to show in folder. So it took me to the location. I'm going to open up that zip file and double click on the file itself. It's going to pop open like this. If you're wondering, if you're not aware, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. That is pretty much all the letters of the alphabet, and they list it up here as well. But you'll want to hit this install button, and it's going to install the font. Now if we go back over to GIMP and I go to my text option tool, let's go to the texting tool first. I have everything crammed into this little space, so. And what you're going to find out is that was mono font. What you're going to find out is mono font is not listed here. Anytime you install a new font, you're going to want to restart GIMP. So yeah, you can see there is no mono font here. They'll be listed alphabetically. So we're going to close this, save as text. So as you can see, it's saving as an XCF file. That's your working file. I've covered that in other videos. It's not actually the image file that you're going to be creating. That is just the working file for GIMP. So I'm going to save that. We're going to close out of GIMP. Okay, we have GIMP open again, and I'm going to click on my text tool, and we're going to go over here and we're going to scroll up until we find Monofonto. I guess that's what the name of it. And let's open up our file, open recent, test text, and let's change that up to 300. And let's type away. This is, oh, maybe not. I'm used to doing, for my GIMP designs, I'm used to putting the text up there just because of the template size. Let's change this down to 100. Okay. This is a test of the new mono font. I'm going to go ahead and make everything else. Let's leave my background, my white background. Let's leave that there. And there is that new font we installed. Let me close some of this out of the way. And there we go. So today was a pretty basic video showing how to manipulate fonts. We changed scale, we transformed perspective, we adjusted color, we looked at the toolbox to select the text tool, and also the tool properties box where we could set our basic color, size, and actual font style. That's where you'd also center, left, right, justify. I hope you got something out of it. Some of these videos are really just going to cover basics. If there is anything that you would like me to go through, or anything you'd like to see done through GIMP, leave a message down in the comments below. Also, if you did find this useful, please hit the thumbs up, and as time goes, I will try to get more of these videos out there, and hopefully you guys will become pretty proficient using GIMP. Anyway, that's it for today. We'll catch you all next time. Peace out.